The year was 1992, I think. Yeah. Playing Street Fighter with the drug dealers around the neighborhood. That's where I got the game from. Yo, I say back when my brother used to be a drug dealer. I was in my room bumping J Dilla. He was on the corner with a pistol, and I was just playing Street Fighter with my neighborhood niggas. Where you from, Kincaid? Southside, you know what it is. Coming from the block, Jacktown, called Maple Ridge. Mama gotta hustle just so we can live. Dad quit school and still raised 4 kids, put us in the house. Right behind the rebel with somebody got shot. Another day up in the hood, dead body laying in the street. We never give word to police. Broke the school bus with the killers and the dealers. A nigga tried to get me for my tummy heel figure. He thought he was cool, he thought he was tough, till he found out who my motherfucking people was. That was way back up in the 7th grade. Around the same time my brother caught his first case. And I could have been like my brother, pushing that cocaine like no other. But to keep me out of trouble, my mama bought a game with a couple of controllers. So, while my bro was in the street, I was in my room playing Street Fighter 3. I say back when my brother used to be a drug dealer. I was in my room bumping J Dilla. He was on the corner with a pistol, and I was just playing Street Fighter with my neighborhood niggas. Back when my brother used to be a drug dealer. I was in my room bumping J Dilla. He was on the corner with a pistol, and I was just playing Street Fighter with my neighborhood niggas. Back when my brother used to be a drug dealer. I was in my room bumping J Dilla. He was on the corner with a pistol, and I was just playing Street.
Welcome to the SUBCON podcast. I just got back from MAGWest, and let me tell you, man, it was something. Like, really something. Like, definitely, probably really something. I'm your host, Gino Boost, here to bring you all of the best rhythms and rhymes from all of the best game-inspired hip-hop artists on the internet. I'm also clearly a liar because I am definitely, obviously, recording this episode before heading out to MAGWest. Sorry to pull back the curtain on you like that. Before going on, the opening track is another dope one from ayekincaid's latest. You heard Street Fighters and Dope Dealers, produced by Luke White and Low Class Filth by ayekincaid from his latest album, Bizarre Arcade 2, Nostalgia Kung Fu. I already bumped some ayekincaid a few episodes ago, and I could include every track from this album on SUBCON for your consideration, of course. I relented a tad though, and decided to just open things up with this autobiographical track featuring both drug dealing and street fighting as major themes. Of course, you would know that from the track title. Alright, show of hands. How many people's parents, especially if you grew up in a bad neighborhood, if your parents said some variant of, I don't like them playing all those video games, but at least it keeps them from running the streets. Like it was the lesser of two evils. Like if I wasn't jumping on turtles in Super Mario, then I would just be shooting people with a gun, I guess, outside on the streets. Anyway, enough hood politics. Let's talk about Street Fighter instead. I was terrible at Street Fighter 2 growing up as a kid. I'm still terrible now, but at least I put up a fight, usually. But as a petulant child, I had that whole, I don't suck, it's the game that sucks mentality about Street Fighter for years. And besides, my game of choice was Mortal Kombat. The blood, the characters, the rich lore and backstory, the fact that I was good at it. Anyway, Street Fighter 2. I used Sagat a lot as a kid because he has a lot of range and he has a bunch of moves, which meant I could mash the buttons and keep most folks at bay long enough to make the match less embarrassing for me. I hope. Eventually, once I found a Street Fighter strategy guide at a thrift store for $1, I sat down and learned the actual moves to some of the characters in Street Fighter. I have to completely establish that last sentence actually. See, back before the internet, there were only 3 ways to know about a secret from a video game. Or, if it was a really crap video game, just how to beat this really crap video game. Number 1, you read about the secret in a video game book or a video game magazine. Number 2, you know someone who read it in a video game book or video game magazine. And number 3, and the most difficult but often the most accessible choice, was to just play the game so often and get so bored within the video game world that you end up uncovering secrets and glitches, like you just brute force hacked the video game out of boredom. Luckily, I was able to go with option number 1, and I practiced with my old but official, but still very ugly guide to Street Fighter 2, which led me to maining Chun-Li, which I still do to this day in every single iteration of Street Fighter, because I refuse to change any of my habits. The next artist we're going to hear from, we actually heard from last week over on Tech Force's Tron track. This is Aramis. He's got his own album out right now on Bandcamp. The full album is a definite must-have if you are the type of person, for instance, that watches a show trying to find out about the latest video game-inspired hip-hop artists on the internet. I could play any track from this album, is what I'm trying to say. So, how did I decide on this track here? Well, it all comes down to Aramis name-dropping one very specific and very awesome video game. If you can guess that game, tweet me at GinoBoost, and if you guess correctly, I'll pay you an exposure. And this track is Ain't Worried About Nothing,
Aramis.
featuring Raz Nasty by Aramis from Virtuoso.
Raz Nasty. We ain't worried about nothing. We ain't worried about nothing. One hell of a something. I said, one hell of a something. We ain't worried about nothing. We ain't worried about nothing. One hell of a something. I said, one hell of a something. I ain't worried about nothing, better get about the way, cause I'm coming. Word to God, that's 100 more than just in the run and kill it on the track every single time that I'm summoned. Never miss is the one and I'ma never kneel. Zero F's given, turn the booth to a 5-field from the west mitten, where we separate ourselves from the whack like a hard drive partition. Went missing for a minute overseas, I was ghost down in Tokyo. None of these cats got a rope in this rodeo. Clowns everywhere when I take a look around, leaving all you cats limping with your biscuit on the ground. Had a couple cats tell me I was basic with the sound. Funny they ain't saying nothing now, different style, I manipulate the flow like the force, make it bend to my will. I'ma kill all that noise, bring balance to the game. I'm chosen, leave them all frozen. Linkway clan Sub-Zero, eyes in my aura stay golden. Chilling with the bros at the crib playing Gunstar Heroes. Leave the city burning like Nero. Do you like Han did Greedo? Got the golden gun in the cummerbund on my brand new tuxedo. 007 stay fly like an eagle. Give it all I got till my tank's on zero. Kusanagi Kyo, I got that fire. Everywhere I go I be looking so regal. Peep out the stilo, I'm on my grind. By design everything falling into place. Anything in my way gotta disintegrate. It's my time, sorry bro, but you finna wait. Taking everything off your dinner plate. We ain't worried about nothing. We ain't worried about nothing. One hell of a something. One hell of a something. We ain't worried about nothing. We ain't worried about nothing.
Wield the microphone like a banana. 1080 backflips, whip with the katana. Stepping up into my silence like diving into a school of starving piranhas. I'm eating up these rappers like a bag of chips. No matter how many, still as skinny as I am, ravenous. Next leap on a beanstalk, I'm grabbing it. Climbing till the giant's head and I have his head on a silver platter, bitch. C5 fun, fuck ya. Then bars like Charles Bronson, I got sucker. Do you feel me? I am not worrisome, and I don't wait, so if you're coming, better hurry up. Smoky lung and I'm bringing the deep sheets. No time to feed me, I always need sleep. But I maintain with mad snacks and cat naps, cause killing your shepherd ain't so easy. And I know we've all got our fingers in the holes through the bottom of our boats, trying to find a way to stay alive and remain afloat. But the pain that comes and goes, same as thunder rolls. So I will not ignore my untamable nature. Push past the blinders, haters, fakers, plagues, blamers, until they're all under me, and drive my face into the sun until it smothers me. Now I'm back in my groove, boy. A needle in the wax, here's looking at you. Oh, you're hungry? I'm famished. Ain't talking about food, boy. Don't need a stack of cash to present you with proof. Locomotive, whether or not you're on the tracks, I'm coming through. Miraculous, the way I turn bricks into rubble with my boots. Making a brick in a sweat, I be taking a beat to the boil. I'm over the top of the pot with the radical magic that I spit. I ain't worried about shit.
You ain't have to worry about nothing.
We ain't worried about nothing. We ain't worried about nothing.
Yo, I got a big butt. Yup, but I'm not bragging. Why? Cause back in Taiwan, that was a bad thing. Oh, me and Asia, flat asses are the preference. Cause that was where I had to establish my point of reference. I met with many impediments from my back then. Among my circle, definitely the fat friend. But that said, there's an excellent chance that y'all can fit an Asian size XL pants. But when I moved to the States, damn, it opened my mind. Cause as it turned out, my behind was open side. And to add another fact I didn't know at the time, in America, Asians and butts are one of a kind. And they're ahead of my massive ass. Became a massive attribute that I'm not embarrassed to have a booty like two planets. So do the math in universal gravitation. The traction is proportional to gluteal masturbation. I got Asian American beauty. Yeah, Asian American booty. I got Asian American beauty. Yeah, Asian American booty. I got Asian American beauty. Yeah, Asian American booty. I got Asian American beauty. Yeah, Asian American booty. But this is not another song that's all about the face. Why? Anacondas, apple bottom jeans, and tiny waist. What? This goes out to all the women feeling out of place with bodies so complex to ideals dictated by the race. Cool. I got a yellow face, but my eyes are circle shaped. We're dated and averting the stereotypes and verbal names. As Asian Americans, we reside in a certain space between dominant thought and the culture from which our fathers came. The latter where it's commonplace to be body shamed, and the former where Americans think we're all the same. Flat butts and chests, but that's just a perception. Asian girls are curvy too, but that's seen as an imperfection. Skin whitening creams for a lighter complexion. Squid under the knife for an eye widening section. But your women subjected to double standards of beauty. My answer is fuck the status quo. You know you're a cutie, cause you got Asian American beauty and an Asian American booty. You got Asian American beauty and an Asian American booty. You got Asian American beauty and an Asian American booty. You got Asian American beauty and an Asian American.
Welcome back. You just heard one from the VPC5, that is the Vocalist Producer Challenge Part 5, and you just heard the Round 2 entry, Asian American Beauty, by LexicOhm via VPC5 Round 2. You could grab this and all of the other VPC tracks over on the VPC SoundCloud, if it still exists, which I'm probably going to say about every SoundCloud forever now, apparently. Anyway, I was originally planning to play the track Alive from the debut EP by LEX, but instead I've got LexicOhm, aka the Lexicon artist, and ohm-I, or is it ohm-I? I need to do some more research. Alive is my personal favorite track though, from Lex's debut EP. But this duo, along with many others, are dropping hot new tracks for the VPC5, and I'm barely keeping up. They're already like on round 4 as I'm recording this. They're at least released round 3, working on round 3, I don't know. Anyway, I'm like a round behind at least. And it's gonna be a while before I catch up. Way behind. I'm always way behind on these albums. But they keep coming out, so I gotta keep listening. I'm catching up someday. I'm like Ringo opening all this fan mail from The Simpsons. Anyway, let's get into the background music for this week's episode. Lots of great new tracks this week. As always, you can find links to all the music played on this week's episode by checking out the show notes at gamemusicforall.com/subcon. To start the show, we heard VP by Peter Bobinski from Spira, music from Final Fantasy X Xanacard Mix via Materia Collective. This comes from the 50-track per disc album Spira. This is a 2-disc album, by the way. I'm only linking to the disc for this track in the show notes. Just peruse Materia Collective's website for the other disc. I can't keep up with all of Materia Collective's releases these days, so make sure you keep an eye on them yourself. Next, we heard the track China Street Beat by McVaff, a remix of Chun-Li's theme from Street Fighter II via OC Remix. This is an early OC remix from 2002. This is back when McVaff was known as McVaff. I went over to OC Remix to get the credits for this track and saw McVaff, and for a moment I thought I was on some Berenstain Bears type shit. Luckily, checking McVaff's Twitter clarified the whole thing, and I remained sane for another day. Next up was the track Destruction Manufacture (Robot Factory) by Dale North from Gun Ducky Industries' original soundtrack. I almost ran into Dale North at MAGWest, but not quite. There's always next year. This break began with another one from the Dank EP. This album gets a lot of spins out of me. This track is Donkey Kong Country Theme by James Landino from the Dank EP, music from Donkey Kong. Now, James Landino is a person I got to meet and enjoy a great set by over at MAGWest, so 1 point for me. And to close things out, we are now hearing La Conga del Unknown by Pokerus from Poke Memories Volume 2. And to keep with this sudden and arbitrary Pokemon theme, we'll be closing out the show with Ending Theme by Go Ikanose, one of several composers for Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, as well as the original Gold and Silver. This is the ending theme from Heart Gold, Soul Silver, specifically. But before we get into that, I have got to play something from MAGWest, and this epic track by one of the MCs that laid it down over MAGWest weekend is just what I need. This track we're shutting things down with is Super Nintendo Sega Genesis by Richie Branson featuring Random, aka Megaran. Thank you for watching, and thanks for hanging out with me at MAGWest if you did so.
When I was that broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was that broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
Richie. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Yo, I had both consoles. My friends were envious, even though I blew money on games, so I was penniless. I remember times way back far when I was on the Sega Genesis playing Phantasy Star. Saved up some cash from mowing the neighbor's yard, and I bought a Super Nintendo with Mario Kart. I remember getting Hurricane Kicks in as Ken and Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. I moved on as soon as I had permission to play Mortal Kombat as long as I cleaned the kitchen. Broke nerdy kid, never rocked the best fashion. Spent my last on Chrono Trigger to X-Slash 'em, and that was the root of my video game passion. Playing classics on 16-bit graphics.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was that broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was that broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was that broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
I remember jamming Juicy by Notorious. During boss battles trying to be victorious, I had attention deficit, blue pills like Morpheus. I just defeated Dr. Robotnik, I'm feeling glorious. Really wanna go back to those days as a kid in his crib playing video games. I'm jumping up and down trying to dodge Bowser's flames and doing spinning kicks and skates in Streets of Rage. I used to play as the Bulls in NBA Live. In the time when Michael Jordan was playing 99, I was so clutch, making pressure shots every time. I even played better than number 23 in his prime. When it comes to shooting games, my aim is so high. Used to play Wolfenstein, them Nazis got shot. Make no mistake, I love my Xbox, but I'd rather be doing barrel rolls and Star Fox.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Hold on.
When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. You gotta be old school if you remember this. Heaven sent, felt like I was on top of the universe, cause I'm popular. No stopping the kid. Man, I wasn't calling no girls. I was clearing 96 levels on Mario World, huh? Mode 7 versus blast processing. Mom and dad glad because they can stop stressing. Guessing on my whereabouts. I was at Eric's house playing Madden 95, trying to air it out. In the UK they call it SNES. On my block they call it Super. I had it before all the rest. Final Fantasy 2 leveling up. Couldn't get Street Fighter, it was $70. What? But my next door neighbor did. It was my favorite. Every day I'm playing it, baby.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
Thanks for watching. For more videos about music, video games, and more, please subscribe at youtube.com/GameMusicForAll. Support SUBCON on Patreon at patreon.com/GinoBoost. Show notes and audio version of the podcast at GameMusicForAll.com/SUBCON. And to find the latest game music albums, check out GameMusicForAll.com. You are now leaving SUBCON.